Hello, my radiant and magnificent Leo souls. Welcome back to Cosmic Wisdom, your sacred space for illuminating the profound cosmic truths that guide our journey. I am your guide, and if you have found your way to this specific message at this precise moment in time, I want you to know with every fiery spark of your beautiful being that this is not a coincidence. This is a divine appointment. Before we venture into the heart of this message, I invite you to join me in creating a sacred space around you. Find a place where you can be undisturbed for just a moment. Go ahead and gently close your eyes. Take a deep, intentional breath in, filling your lungs with courage and light. Hold it for a count of 3, feeling the power of the sun itself gathering in your core, and then exhale slowly, releasing every expectation, every performance, every role you have been playing. Let your royal shoulders relax. Let your magnificent heart, that brilliant star that shines so brightly for the world, soften and open, because the universe, in its infinite and loving wisdom, has orchestrated this meeting between your spirit and the transformative truth that is about to be revealed. Leo, you are a child of the sun. You were born to shine, to create, to lead, and to love with a generosity that can warm the entire world. Your very presence is a performance of light. But what happens when the stage you've so carefully built begins to tremble? What happens when the spotlight flickers and threatens to go out? This, my dear Leo, is the sacred unraveling we are here to talk about today. A despair is indeed making its way toward you, but it is not a darkness meant to extinguish your light. Oh no. It is a holy eclipse of the ego designed to force you to discover the eternal, unshakable sun that has always been burning within you. If you can feel the truth of those words resonating deep within your soul, if your spirit is stirring in recognition of a change that is already underway, I want you to make a sacred pact with your own evolution right now. Press that like button, not as a simple click, but as a powerful seal upon your intention, a declaration to the cosmos that you are ready to face this journey with courage. And to anchor this intention, go to the comments right now and declare, I am ready to find the light within the shadow. And of course, if this path feels like home and you are ready to continue this journey of awakening with us, please subscribe to Cosmic Wisdom. We have so much to illuminate together. Now, are you ready? Because the life you have known is about to undergo a profound and glorious alchemy. You will feel as if you are falling, but I promise you, you are only just beginning to learn how to fly. Let's dive deep into the heart of this, shall we? For your entire life, magnificent Leo, you have understood the world as a grand stage, and you have played your part with passion, with flair, and with an undeniable magnetism. Your identity has been beautifully interwoven with your creations, your achievements, and the reflection you see in the eyes of others. The applause, the recognition, the feeling of being seen and celebrated, these have been the mirrors that confirmed your own brilliance. And there is nothing wrong with this. It is a fundamental part of your cosmic DNA. But the universe is now asking you a question of profound importance. My brilliant child, who are you when the audience goes home? Who are you when the stage lights go dark and the applause fades to silence? Who are you when there is no one left to perform for except the truth of your own soul? This is the source of the coming despair. It is a despair born not of loss, but of a sacred stripping away. It is the moment the universe lovingly but firmly removes the masks the costumes, and the roles you have identified with so deeply that you have mistaken them for your own skin. The structures you have built, the career that defines you, the social standing that validates you, the relationships that reflect a certain image of you are not just going to be challenged, they are going to dissolve. They are built upon the illusion that your worth, your light, comes from something outside of yourself, and your soul, in its infinite wisdom, has decided that it is time for this beautiful life-saving lie to end. This is not a punishment. Can you feel the difference? This is a divine intervention. For years, your soul has been whispering to you in the quiet moments. It has spoken to you through that flicker of emptiness after a great achievement, that pang of loneliness in a crowded room, that quiet nagging feeling that you are playing a part so perfectly that you've forgotten who you truly are underneath. The universe sent gentle nudges, quiet invitations to look deeper, to find a source of validation that was not dependent on the ever-shifting opinions of the world. But you, in your glorious Leo strength, are a master of performance. When a crack appeared in the facade, you filled it with more charisma. When doubt crept in, you silenced it with a grander gesture. You persisted in holding the stage together, believing that was your strength. You confused your performance with your power and your audience with your soul. And now, because your spirit loves you too much to let you continue living in this gilded cage, the change must come not as a whisper, but as a thunderous roar. The entire stage must be dismantled so that you can finally stand raw and real under the light of your own authentic being. The intensity of this coming despair is directly proportional to the grip you've held on the performance. It is a forced liberation from a prison you didn't even realize you were in. Imagine this with me for a moment. You are a magnificent king or queen, adorned in the most beautiful robes, wearing a heavy, jewel-encrusted crown. You sit on a throne in a vast hall, and for years, people have come to admire you, to seek your counsel, to bask in your glory. You believe your power comes from the throne, the crown, the hall. But one day, the throne crumbles to dust. The crown dissolves. The walls of the hall vanish, leaving you standing under an open sky. In that moment, you will feel naked, exposed, and utterly lost. That is the despair. It is the ego's terror at being dethroned. You will think you have lost everything. But what you will soon discover, beautiful soul, is that you were never the crown. You were never the throne. You were and have always been the radiant, powerful sovereign being who sat upon it. The external trappings were not your source of power. They were merely concealing it, and in some ways, limiting it. This despair is the terrifying, liberating moment you realize you don't need a throne to rule your own life. You only need your own heart. For Leos born in the heart of July, from July 23rd to August 1st, this sacred unraveling will likely manifest in your career and public image. A project you've poured your heart into may fail, a position of leadership may be lost, or the recognition you've worked so hard for will suddenly evaporate. You will be forced to ask, without my title, without my success, who am I? And in that space, you will discover a creativity that is not for applause, but for the sheer joy of creation itself. For those Leos born in the full blaze of the sun, from August 2nd to August 12th, this despair will likely arrive through your closest relationships. The partnerships that have served as a mirror for your greatness may shatter, revealing where you were loving from a place of ego rather than a place of true, vulnerable connection. You will face the profound silence of your own heart and learn that the most powerful love story is the one you write with your own soul. You will learn to love, not just to be loved in return, but as an act of pure, unconditional light. And for my late-born Leos, from August 13th to August 22nd, the crisis will be a deeply personal, internal one. It will be a crisis of faith in your own light. You will look in the mirror and no longer recognize the person staring back. A profound sense of purposelessness will descend, forcing you to question every belief you've ever held about yourself and your place in the world. This is a journey into the dark night of the soul, where you will be forced to find your own reason for shining independent of any external validation. But regardless of your birth date, the core revelation will be the same for every single Leo soul. Undergoing this transformation, the applause was a cage. The spotlight was a limitation. And this despair, this terrifying silence, is the price of true, boundless freedom. It is the moment you stop performing your life and finally truly begin to live it. Let's pause here. Let's do a small ritual together, right here, right now. I invite you to place one hand over your heart. Feel the steady, powerful rhythm beneath your palm. That magnificent soul is the beat of your own private sun, the one that has been burning steadily long before you ever stepped onto a stage. Close your eyes. Bring to mind an identity you hold dear, a job title, a role in your family, an image you project to the world. See it clearly, and then whisper these words, either aloud or in the sanctuary of your own soul. I am grateful for this role, but it is not who I am. My light is my own. Now take a deep breath, and as you exhale, imagine that role, that mask, gently dissolving like mist, not in a painful loss, but in a peaceful release. What is left? It might feel empty at first. It might feel scary. But that emptiness is not a void. It is a sacred space. It is the canvas upon which your true self can finally begin to paint. During this process, you will be tempted, oh so tempted, to find a new stage. You will desperately search for a new audience, a new source of validation to fill the silence. Your ego will scream at you to rebuild the old structures, to put the mask back on, to start the performance again. I am here in this sacred appointment with you to urge you with all my heart, do not do it. Do not waste this holy opportunity to return to a prison from which the universe is working so hard to free you. Have the courage to stay in the silence. Have the strength to sit with the feeling of being unseen. It is in this discomfort, in this space between identities, that the alchemy happens. It is here that you will finally hear the true voice of your own heart, a voice that has been drowned out by the roar of the crowd for far too long. Is it terrifying? Absolutely. Is it the most necessary journey of your entire life, more than anything else? Are you ready to stop searching for the spotlight and start becoming the sun? When you are stripped of everything, when you feel you have hit the absolute rock bottom of your identity, you will discover the most glorious truth. The strength you thought came from the applause was inside you all along. The radiance you thought was reflected back at you was emanating from you the entire time. You were so busy looking at your reflection in the eyes of others that you never turned your gaze inward to witness the breathtaking infinite star that you are. Despair will be your sacred initiation. It will take you to that point of absolute surrender, where you have nothing left to perform, nothing left to prove and nothing left to lose. And it is right there, in that moment of pure, raw, unadorned being, that the magic happens. You will discover that at the very bottom of the abyss, there is a door that only opens when you stop clawing at the walls of your old life. And this door leads to a version of yourself you never dreamed was possible. A Leo, whose light is so powerful because it needs no external source to ignite it. A Leo whose security comes not from being admired, but from a profound and unshakable self-love. A Leo whose generosity flows not from a need to be liked, but from a heart that is so full it cannot help but overflow. Throughout this time, you will question everything: your past choices, your motivations, your very essence. This is not a sign that you are losing your mind. It is a sign that you are finally finding it. You are sifting through the rubble of a collapsed stage, and you must decide what is authentic and what was merely a prop. You must distinguish between the truth of your soul and the script you were given by society, family, and your own ego. Only when everything has crumbled can you rebuild your life upon the indestructible foundation of your own sovereign heart. Let me share a practice with you, a ritual of alchemy that will serve as an anchor in this storm. One night, when you are feeling the full weight of this despair, sit before a single, flickering candle. The candle represents the small, flickering flame of your hope. On a piece of paper, write down all the roles you have played, all the identities you have clung to, all the sources of external validation you have sought. The perfect employee, the successful leader, the admired friend, the strong one. Write down all the fears that come with losing them. The fear of being invisible, the fear of being forgotten, the fear of being nothing. Pour all of the ego's terror onto that page, and then, with great intention, burn that paper in the flame of the candle. Watch as the words, the roles, the fears curl into black ash and dissolve into nothingness. In that sacred moment of fire and release, you will understand a profound cosmic truth. The roles were only paper, the fears were only smoke. But your soul, magnificent Leo, your soul is the eternal, unconsumable fire, and fire is not diminished when the things around it burn away. It only reveals its true nature, hotter, brighter, and more powerful than ever before. This despair is temporary. I need you to etch that truth onto your heart. It will feel all-consuming. It will feel like an endless night. But it is a passage, not a destination. Its only purpose is to burn away what is false, and it will not last a second longer than is necessary. When it has done its holy work, you will emerge, and you will look back, not with horror, but with a strange and profound gratitude. You will see how small your grand stage truly was, and how trapped you were upon it. You will be grateful for the cosmic storm that had the power to set you free. The person who emerges from this fire will be almost unrecognizable to the one who entered it. Your priorities will shift from seeking attention to radiating intention. You will learn to dance with the beautiful mystery of life instead of trying to script every scene. You will embrace the unknown with a lion-hearted courage, not because you are reckless, but because you have finally discovered that the only security you ever needed lies within your own magnificent heart. And here is the most beautiful secret of all. The Leo who performed for an audience attracted just that, an audience. People who loved the show, who admired the costume, who applauded the character you played. but the authentic reborn Leo who shines from their own inner sun. You will attract a pride. You will attract soul-deep connections. You will call in a love that is not drawn to your mask, but is mesmerized by your naked, beautiful, authentic soul. A love that doesn't need you to perform, but simply wants to sit with you in the sacred silence and feel the warmth of your true heart. This journey is inevitable, my dear Leo. The cosmic script has been written. You cannot avoid it, but you can choose how you walk through it. You can fight, you can cling to the crumbling stage, making the process longer and more agonizing. Or you can take a deep breath, bow to the divine wisdom of this moment and surrender. You can trust that in letting go of everything, you are finally making space to receive your true self. The choice is yours. But know this, you were chosen for this path because you, child of the sun, have the strength to walk through the darkness and emerge not just intact, but more brilliantly alive than ever before. The eclipse is coming magnificent, Leo. A vast, overwhelming, and sacred despair. But you are the sun, and no eclipse, no matter how total, can ever truly extinguish your light. It can only hide it for a moment to make its return all the more glorious, all the more breathtaking, all the more true. Cross into the darkness. Trust the unraveling. Your new life is not just a possibility, it is your destiny. And on the other side, the most powerful, free, and authentic version of you is already waiting to be born. We have journeyed through a profound space together today. Take a moment to just breathe and let this message settle into the very core of your being. This has been more than just a listening experience. It has been a sacred activation. I would be so honored to hear from you. Which part of this message caused a stirring in your soul? What truth has been awakened within you today? Please share your journey, your feelings, your recognition in the comments section below. Your story is a beacon of light for other Leos walking this same sacred path. Let us create a pride of support and transformation right here. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for showing up for your own evolution. It has been a true gift to hold this space with you. I wish you an abundance of strength, a profound sense of your own inner light, and the unwavering success that is your birthright. Remember, you are the creator of your own universe. You are the sun. Now go forth and be brilliant.